Hello, Serge here from the backyard driving range with another version of the daily lesson. Have the clipboard here, and I have a question from Raymond McKeon, and he says, "Hi guys, a very good friend of mine from the States, Dr. Dennis Waitley, once told me a story. Dr. Waitley was the motivation consultant for the Apollo Moon program. He was a psychologist for returning Vietnam prisoners. And he was telling me about an Air Force captain who had returned after many years in captivity. He played in a Pro-Am golf day soon after returning, and he shot 4 over. Everyone remarked what a great round after being away so long, that is, held in captivity as a prisoner of war. He replied that that's the worst round I've played in 4 years. He kept himself sane by playing rounds of golf at his favorite course in his head. Somebody try and convince me this game is not played between the years. That it is not played between the years. Absolutely, it's played between the years." Again, this is Raymond McKeon, and he's from Sydney, Australia. So, hello to everybody there down under, which you're going into your summer, and we're getting ready up here to go into our winter. But we've heard stories of this before, of golfers, prisoners of war, using mental visualization every day, thinking about things. And the reason why I brought this up is because it's so important. I think the big important thing I want to say today about practicing is most of us believe we have to be on a range beating balls, sweating bullets, and getting blisters to get better. No, you can get better practicing in your mind. They have done psychological studies where they gave a task. I know one time I read about shooting foul shots. They gave 2 groups of people, and they gave them each instruction, and one of them was to practice every day for X amount of time, going to the gym and spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever, shooting, literally, physically shooting foul shots. The other ones did it in there, and the other ones just sat in a nice, comfortable chair and practiced in their mind the same amount of time. Then they brought them all back to shoot foul shots, and the people who never shot a foul shot just did it in their mind, practicing good setup, good technique, and everything else. They made more foul shots than the ones who physically practiced it every day. And I can remember many times when I was trying to play golf for a living, playing the mini tours, trying to get out there and hopefully get on a PGA tour like DJ is, and driving down the road, I'm hitting balls in my mind. I remember one job I had that was very detailed. I had to pay attention to what I was doing, but while I'm doing it, I'm hitting balls in my mind. And it's amazing how fast time flies at work if you can do that and do your job and maybe hit balls in your mind. But I can remember doing it driving down the road, and I didn't have any accidents. Unfortunately, I don't do that very much anymore. And in many cases, if I am driving down the road thinking about a swing, it's somebody else's swing that I need to help them get better, to fix them get better, not thinking about my own. So the point that this captain proved is that mental practice is as good or maybe even better than physical practice. Remember, he made the statement that 74 was the worst round he shot in years. All right? So consequently, if you're practicing in your mind, especially if you're practicing, as I said, I think there's 2 ways you can practice. You can practice swinging and try to make your mind feel what's going on with that swing, and you can practice playing. Play the course out. If you're playing a course tomorrow that you're or even later today that you're familiar with, why not play a practice round in your mind before you go out there? Now, naturally, you can't figure out exactly what the weather conditions are going to be out there, but either way, the point is that you can practice playing it in your mind. And I think this is one of the most important areas that golfers overlook about practice. Again, they only think they can do it at the golf course. And so mental practice is just as vitally important as physical practice. And so I think that's the message I want to leave from today, and thank Raymond for bringing that up. I mean, we know we've all heard stories about these gentlemen and prisoners of war and doing these things, and I've heard it from another story very similar to this. And the key is practice is good. We have to practice if you want to get better, and don't forget the mental practice to go along with the physical practice. You might find that if you mentally practice very well, you don't need quite as much physical practice. And therefore, you might be able to play more golf instead of having to physically actually practice more. So, Raymond, thanks again for that information. It's a great point to bring up. And I think it's something that will benefit us all, because the more you use your mind, and remember, it's your mind that sends all the signals to all the different parts of your body, every muscle group or whatever, and how it's supposed to move, when to move in terms of the tempo and the timing and everything else. And since it's your mind is the major player here, because there's no such thing as muscle memory, it's mental memory. What better way to work up your mental memory than to mentally hit golf balls in your mind? Okay? Well, that's it for the search for today, and hopefully opening up another door or another avenue for us to practice so that we can improve our swings, hit better shots, and shoot those lower scores. That's it for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.